नमस्कार। आज स्वाधीनता दिवस की शुभ संध्या पर थिंक इंडिया की तरफ से हमारे सारे दर्शकों के स्वाधीनता दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आज हम स्वाधीनता दिवस को उपलक्ष्य में संकल्प करने जा रहे हैं, जिसमें हम बहुत चर्चा करेंगे, हमारे कराएंगे, बहुत सी बातों पर अपने मत रखेंगे। इस कार्य में हमारे साथ पहले जुड़ रहे थे जा रहे हैं सौम्यदीप बैनर्जी। सौम्यदीप बैनर्जी देश प्रेमी लड़का है, देश प्रेमी बोल सकते स्टूडेंट है, जो भारत के लिए अपने दिल निछावर करने के लिए है और ये भारत के लिए अपने भी निछावर करने के लिए तैयार है। सौम्यदीप आज आपको बोलेंगे द बंगाल मार्शल हिस्ट्री फ्रॉम मिड एजेस टू फ्रीडम फाइट, इस टॉपिक पर। और दर्शक सुनते रहिए सौम्यदीप को। सौम्यदीप, ओवर टू यू।
Namaskar to everyone. I am Soumyadip Bannerjee. I am from Bengal. I am a physics master student presently, and I am a very passionate guy about the history that has been distorted in all over the country. Today, I'll be speaking about the martial history of Bengal that has totally been removed. Now, when I talk about the martial history of Bengal, many people may think that I am speaking only about the armed revolution days, which is known in Bengal as the Ognijuk days. But what we don't know, I'm going to tell you. Even today is the 77th Independence Day, and I, as an Indian, I offer my gratitude to everyone. I offer my respect to all the freedom fighters who fought for us and all the soldiers and people who are working hardly to protect us. Now, today, what I'll be saying is about the military history of Bengal. How Bengal had a long lasting history of resistance against the invading powers. Now, this history has totally been removed from our syllabus. Like all other places of India, the history is distorted herein too. But the amount of distortion is probably the most in Bengal. Even the people in Bengal don't know their actual history, which is rather sad to us. So when we talk about Bengal's martial history, everyone thinks that we are talking about the freedom fight, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Rasbihari Bose, Bhaga Jatin, Aurobindo Ghosh. These they are obviously a part of this history, but they are not the only part. They are not a spark, but they are the part of a long-lasting fire that has protected this land from all the invading powers. Now, if you speak about Bengal's martial history, the first thing when it comes to our mind is that what we read in our history books that there was a king of Bengal whose name was Lakshman Sen, who fled during the attack of Bakhtiyar Khilji, and the whole Bengal went under Muslim rule. But is it the truth? No, it is not. It is the truth, or it is the story that has been told to us for many, many years now. And why? Why the history is distorted so much? Because if we know the right history, we will be proud of our heritage. We won't be the slave of the system we are today. We will go up and fight for ourselves, which the anti-nationalist powers don't want. And that's why we have the much distortion in our history. So as I was speaking, the incident of Nadia, the attack of Bakhtiyar Khilji, and Lakshman Sen leaving and the whole Bengal coming under Muslim rule is totally a blunt lie. A blunt lie. Because when Bakhtiyar attacked in 1203, even 20 years after that, there was Hindu rule in Nadia. And Godeshwar Lakshman Sen, the great king, the great warrior, never fled. He actually defeated Bakhtiyar. He led a resistance against Bakhtiyar. And what he did, he made this is a text, but some great historians like Sri Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, Sri Jodhunath Sarkar, and Sri Nihar Ranjan Rai has written this in the books, which unfortunately we don't reach today. But are there in contemporary sources? Yes, there are contemporary sources written by many people that Bakhtiyar Khilji was the one who was defeated and he went out of this land in 1298. How? Until his death. A long time. A long time till 1250s when the Deva dynasty, the Deva dynasty replaced the Sena dynasty. The Sena dynasty has given very hard resistance against the invading Muslim powers in the mainland of Bengal. Bushru Hussain, Hussein, Hussein. These names are some that most people don't know. Obviously, we also didn't know 3 4 years back, but we are now studying and trying to bring the history of Bengal forward to you. Now, after the fall of the Sena dynasty power, the main power of Bengal, as I'm saying, a big dynastical or a big empirical power that went on to the Deva kings, the Deva emperors. A name of the Deva emperor is very famous, Dhanujamardan Dev, whose original name was Ramnath Dev. He was a son of this dynasty and he also resisted against these invading powers that were trying everything. I mean, everything. They were doing everything to pillage our land, to break our temples. But the Bengali Hindu kings were strong, potent, and brave enough to fight against them. Now, after the fall of Deva dynasty, the Deva kings, Dhanujamardhan, Ramnath Dev to Dhanuj Rai, everyone fought against these invading powers and won. Even a name of Maharaja Ganesh Narayan should come to our mind, who defeated the Sultanate and became the Hindu ruler of Gaur at that time, which was the capital of the Bengal mainland, the capital that we have considered in the Pala and Sena dynasty days. Now, after the fall of the Deva dynasty, there was no big emperor in Bengal till the time of the great Maharaja Pratapaditta, whose name is something we know. His name is given in our history books, only 2 or 3 lines, where there should have been a chapter, at least a chapter, on the greatness of him. But as I said, the history for us is distorted. The Deva dynasty, after the fall, the power, we can say the power, there didn't exist an empire to protect the mainland of Bengal, but there were enough independent Hindu kingdoms who led the resistance against the invaders. Kingdoms like Bishnupur or Mallabhum, Panchakot or Shikharbhum, Shamantabhum, Gopbhum, Bhurishreshto, Tamralipto. These are some of the names only. There are about 20 kingdoms and 20 kings who have did these things. They resisted with their whole power, resisted against the invading powers and saved this mighty land, this great land. If I give an example, only not the kings, the praja, the normal people, whom we call the normal people, they also led the power. They gave the power to the kings who led this wars against the invading powers. The people, they also took up arms to fight. Like an example, I would give a battle that happened during the 16th century, where the king Ambir Mallodev of Mallabhum was a great king, a benevolent, a loving, and a brave king. He defeated an army of Pathan Daud Khan Karnani. Mallabhum didn't have a huge army at that time. So Ambir Mollo took the normal people and they fought together against the invading power and saved Mallabhum. There are multiple examples like that, like the famous kingdom of Kurukshetra or Bhushu, which name might some Bengalis have loved. The Queen Maharani Rayabagini Bhavashankari is known to some people, not many, but some people. Maharani Bhavashankari's rule and his husband Raja Rudranarayan's rule, it was mandatory for every young man to know how to go in a war. As the time comes, they will provide the military support to the consistent army. As I was speaking of these small kingdoms and the empires before that, they have always upheld the flag of Dharma in this land. This land, which has been a power source, the East, the Bengal, has always been a place where pillages have happened. When the Muslim invaders saw that they can't beat the kings by war, by force, they started spending ghazis, awliyas, peers to convert them. These ghazis or awliyas who dressed as Hindu saints went inside the kingdoms and throw some beef-like materials in the ponds or in the places where the army of the king will be taking a bath or taking water. This by this way, by these shrewd ways, they engulfed some small kingdoms between us. Such a name is Zafar Khan Ghazi, who broke the Vishnu Mandir in Triveni. Anyone can go to Triveni and see the broken Vishnu Mandir complex which is there. There is a mazar now. This Zafar Khan Ghazi was defeated and his head was cut by a king whose name was Bhudev Rai. Maharaja Bhudev Rai cut the head of Zafar Khan Ghazi and defeated him. Bhudev Rai's another friend, Maharaja Dokhin Rai, the name that has become a name of a god in the Sundarbans now, was a king who fought against the invading powers and saved the mainland. So, as we are talking, I hope people can understand that the fire that made the Ogniju, the armed revolutionaries of Bengal, they were not a single flame. They were a part of a long, long, long resistance, a long history that has gone through the Aeonian marshalness of Bengal. The Aeonian marshalness that went through till the 20th century that gave India its freedom. From the first war of rebellion, the Shannashi Vidroho, led by Sri Bhavani Charan Pathak, to the Ogniju days by Aurobindo Ghosh, Bagha Jotin, Bipin Bihari Ganguly, Ullashwar Dotto, and obviously Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu, Raj Bihari Bosu, and many, many more. They were not just some people who came out of nowhere and fought. They were a part of the long-standing tradition of Bengal of resistance, the long-standing tradition of Bengal that has given probably the hardest fight to invading powers in the Indian subcontinent. Each and every part of Bengal has given this fight against the invaders. From the wilderness of Sundarban till the North Bengal to the whole of Rarbhum, Borendrabhum, Bongobhum, everywhere, each and every place has given this fight to the invading powers that has come and destroyed our place. There are some names that I should mention who fought against the Mughal powers like Maharaja Pratapaditya and Maharaja Kedar Rai. They sadly don't get any, I repeat, any recognition from today's known history books. The other kings that I mentioned before, Sena kings, the Deva kings, who fought till their last breath against these powers, they are not mentioned. We are only told stories about some Hussein Shah and some Siraj ud who were not even the true Bengalis. The Bengali Hindus are the sons of this land. We Bengali Hindus are the sons of this land, and our ancestors have fought for 1,000 years to get us, to give us this land that we live and thrive today. Now, if I talk about the freedom struggle days, hear me carefully. If I talk about the freedom struggle days, it also started from Bengal. The Bande Mataram mantra, which is very famous today and was used highly by all the revolutionaries of India, was given by Rishi Bankim Chandra. And following his path, Anushilan Samiti was found by Rishi Aurobindo Ghosh, whose birthday is today, and I bow my head to the great man. From Aurobindo Ghosh, Pramodanath Mitra to Jyotindranath Mukherjee, who is known as Bagha Jyoti, to Bipin Bihari Ganguly, Anukul Mukherjee, Master the Surya Sen, and all other people, from the great revolutionary leader of us, respected Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Sri Raj Bihari Bose. They are not someone whom comes and goes by. This is a tradition we have followed for 1,000 of years. And the time has come that Bengal remembers its history again. We, as Bengalis, must remember our history again. We must know that we are not coward. We know how to fight. Our ancestors has fought for us. That's why we are standing here even today. Even if I talk about the sadhus, the Bengali acharyas, there are names like Bhavani Pathak that comes to mind, who was an acharya, a Brahmin, who became a revolutionary and fought against the British. The name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to my mind, the great Vaishnav saint who started the Gaudiya Brahmo Madhav Sampradaya, the present Vaishnav Sampradaya. He also fought against the Qazi and said that the Qazi must be beheaded if he stops me from doing the Harinam. This is Bengal. This is the land I stand in, and this is the land I am proud of. This is the land of the Pala Sena Deva empires. This is the land of Maharaja Protapaditya. This is the land of the Shikhar Bhum, Gop Bhum, Shamanta Bhum, Bhurishrashta kingdoms that has fought many times, many times to give this land to save us that our ancestors had did for many times. Now the time has arrived for us. I would request every Bengali and every Indian to know the real history. History has been distorted since many years, but as it said, the truth can never be kept in secret. It will unleash, and surely it will unleash. We, as a part of the Gaudiya Warriors and Bengal Volunteers team, we have done our jobs. We are doing our jobs, reclaiming the history and making people know the real history of Bengal, the history that has been hidden from us. We should know our history to make our today better and make our future a better place. With this request to everyone, I'm ending my talk here. I'm very thankful to the Think Tank India. Let me talk for some minutes. Once again, a request, subscribe the Tank India channel, like and comment the video, and also share if you like it. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Jai Ma Bharati. Thank you. Namaskar.